So guys, that's going to do it for this video, and this is actually the next day. I tried to film an outro for the video, but my audio was just so horrendous. I had a connection problem with my wireless mic, but I'm hoping it's going to be a whole lot better here. But it's going to do it for this video. We managed to get 12 true 2x4s out of that log, and when I say we got 12, I mean we kind of salvaged 12, because I actually got 16, but 4 of them actually broke in half because there was a pretty big knot right there in the middle, created a pretty bad weak spot, and those actually broke. So still 12 is pretty good, and those halves that broke in half could probably use for something. But what I need the full length boards, and the reason is I'm going to use these on our front porch. A few years ago, I expanded our front porch some, about 3 feet more than it was. And when I did it, I probably did the worst thing that I possibly could have done. I just scabbed out another 2x4 onto the existing 2x4. And it was a horrendous idea. Every time I go out there and look at it or look at it through a window, I just cringe because it's so bad. And whenever I get up on top of the roof to blow the leaves off of the roof or something like that, I can't step in the middle of the roof on the porch because it's a weak joint, of course, and it just kind of bends. It's just really bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2x4s, and the plan is to just kind of sister them onto the existing rafters, and that should solve that problem. You may have noticed that I milled that log kind of a different way. Usually what I do is I take the log, get a slab off of it, and flip it all the way over, and then get a slab off the other side, and then, you know, flip it again and do whatever. But on this one, what I did, I cut it, I got that slab off of the top, and then I flipped it only 90 degrees so that the flat side was resting against the stops. And the reason that I did that was because it just lessens the workload for me. All I have to do is cut a slab off, rotate it 90 degrees, cut another slab off, rotate it another 90, then get my cants out of it, and then rotate it again and get my boards out of it. And you can kind of do that the other way as well, but it makes it awkward because you don't have a flat side down on the bunks. You actually have an uncut side down on the bunks, and it makes everything all messed up. And this way, it kind of prevents me from having to flip it like 5 times. I only have to flip it like 4 times, which is a whole lot better. And I'm just it's a manual mill, so I'm just trying to flip it as few times as I possibly can. The disadvantage, of course, is when I'm getting my cants out of it, I'm cutting against an outside edge of the log. Now, you saw me take the bark off, and I'm sure that helped quite a bit, but there's still dirt there, and that lessens the blade life. But still, I think it's worth it because it just makes it a whole heck of a lot easier. And you may have noticed that blade was cutting extremely well, and the reason for that was because it was a brand new blade. On a video maybe a month or so ago, I mentioned that I was interested in selling my sharpening setup, and I got several responses from that on my email. But somebody from South Carolina, one of my subscribers from South Carolina, ended up purchasing that sharpening setup. It was a Cook's cat claw sharpener and setter. And when he did that, I went and bought 15 brand new blades from Wood Mizer, and they cut like a dream. My problem with the sharpening setup that I had was I never took the time to get proficient at setting. It was a great system, and to the right person, it would work really well, but I never took the time to get really proficient at setting, so I would get wavy cuts, and it was really just more trouble than it was worth for me. So I'm out of the sharpening business happily. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Guys, I really appreciate y'all watching, and I will see y'all on the next one.